All right. And we are live.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Grown Women Gaming, Volume 161. We have a very special guest with us today, so we're gonna let the ladies do their intros quickly, and then we're gonna introduce our guest, and then we're gonna jump into our uh talk with him. So yes, first up we're gonna have Lady.
Hey guys, good morning. This is me, Lady Infamous 415. You guys already know. For the guys, I'm going to go very quickly. Final Fantasy VII remake. I got stuck, y'all, at the last boss battle. I knew it. I knew it. I came there with great confidence, but it really beat me down. So I had to backtrack and get some extra material that I didn't have, and we're gonna probably try again this week. Also, I played Fallout New Vegas. It felt good to go back. The loading screens are so short compared to what it used to be, so I'm excited about that as well. For Grown Women Game Night, we did a Jackbox Party Pack.
Oh, that was fun.
Which is always fun.
Yeah.
The community always shows up and they show out, so I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah,
and,
sometimes I think the audience is better, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think the audience is way better. We played some Outriders as well. As you see, we got some gameplay. I think I'm gonna say it's the hottest game this week, to be honest with you. And last and not least, I didn't play any Call of Duty this week.
What?
I know she's sick, y'all. She's sick. She got a cold.
No, it's not her. It's not for lack of trying. It's Call of Duty and their nonsense. Because they are essentially making us re-download the whole game. Like the whole game takes up 250 gigabytes, I think it is now.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty large.
And the first update was 50, and then now they want you to re-download all these packs, which each one of them is 15 to 25 gigabytes each.
Wow, yeah. That's
If I told her yesterday, if I had a cap on my internet service, I would be upset.
Yeah, that's why we had to get the uncapped too, because we noticed we were using tons of data. It's just insane.
When you go over that cap, it's like back in the day, call and collect.
Yeah.
It's gonna run your bill right up.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if you're with Comcast, they would charge you in a heartbeat for that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Next
That's
up,
all I played.
LBOOGIE. Oh.
No, that's all I played.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Cherie said you're done.
Okay, yeah, that's what she said. I'm good.
All right, it's LBOOGIE 0208. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Saturday morning. It's very beautiful where I am in Virginia on the East Coast, but super cold. But yeah, Lady pretty much talked about what I played this week, which is pretty much playing with her most of the time. But yeah, I had fun. Outriders is fun. If you like Destiny, Anthem, all those games, Division, you're going to love Outriders.
Basically.
Looter shooters.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have Game Pass, you're already in there like swimwear. So, why not try it out?
There you go.
That's it.
Delilah?
Yes. Okay. So I've been playing Outriders also, as you all know, and I played Naruto Boy, which is this weird, trippy, techno psychonaut type game. It's very trippy, very fun, action side scroller, puzzle type game.
Have you figured out why it's called Naruto Boy?
Still haven't. I don't know why they call it Naruto. The way they say it too, it's like Naruto Boy. It's so over the top, and it has this weird 80s themes and vibes and stuff going on. But it's telling a story of this programmer who's actually made the game that you're playing, and you're trying to save him some kind of way. It's very trippy, very fun. I'm also still trying to complete the journey to the Savage Planet, which I'm trying to get everything in that game because the developers are no longer around, so I want to pretty much pay homage by playing that game till its full extent. I think that's about it outside of Outriders, and I'm really loving Outriders. Oh my goodness! I thought after coming off the demo, I had my expectations was kind of mid, but now it's kind of really high at this point. Now I'm really enjoying it. Very fun. So that's it for me for this week.
All right, and of course it's your girl CHAREECE here I've been playing Outriders since day one, but off of our suggestion from last show, I think DELILAH gave me this one, playing Octopath Traveler. I've been playing that, and that game is way darker than what I thought it was originally. Like, it looks like Kitty is I don't know what, but it is very dark.
Just like the setting, the lighting is dark,
the theme,
the story. Yeah.
Like when you different players, I mean characters that you interact with, like their background stories. It's very dark. It's not as happy-go-lucky as you would think it is. And I wouldn't thought it was rated teen, but rated mature, but it's rated teen. So, but it's cute. It's old school RPG. But the story is awesome. The fighting is on point because you got to really pay attention to with vulnerabilities and everybody. But I am enjoying it. So if y'all, it's on Game Pass. So if you like old school RPGs, I suggest you pick that up. Now, for the special occasion, we have our very special guest who I have been reading up all. Oh! I like that. Do it again.
Exclusive.
All right, we have Mr. Carl Ledbetter. He is the product. Excuse me. I want to say this correctly. Partner, they design the design team at Microsoft. He designs all the toys that we enjoy so much. Because I am enjoying my headphones when I listen to my music at night, and they are awesome. So, Mr. Carl, if you want to introduce yourself real quick before we get into these questions.
Hello. Hey, thank you for that great intro. And I gotta admit, I'm really happy and proud to be here with you guys today. And just hearing your intros, I love the enthusiasm you have for the games. It's just awesome. Yeah, it's so it's just invigorating and so cool to hear. So I'm super happy to be here with you today.
Oh, well, thank you. We're happy to have you. It's I really am. We really are. We're trying to be good and everything, but yeah, we're trying. All right.
Okay. Stay good.
Yeah, we're gonna stay good. Okay, we're gonna start with our interview now. People. Oh, also our chat. We need y'all to be good also.
Yes, please.
In a few short sentences, can you describe your job to us?
Yeah, sure. So you had it. I am the partner director of design at Microsoft, and my area is I am the head of design for Xbox hardware. So my team, I have a small team. We design the Xbox consoles, the controller, the Elite controller, the new wireless headset, the adaptive controller, all the special and limited edition devices that we see. And I've been working in Xbox going back to
a long time.
I said it for him a long time.
It really was, because I was reading up on it, and he started off at the beginning, which is awesome how you stuck with this position for so long, and you've basically taken over, and that's something to work towards, to be proud of.
Oh yeah, I started at Microsoft in 1995 to design a mouse, and while I was in the hardware team, we also worked on a line of products for gaming called Sidewinder. So I don't know if you've heard of Sidewinder products, but we made joysticks and flight sticks, controllers, all these kinds of things, and it actually led into the inception of Xbox when back in 1999 when it was first started at the company. And so part of my team worked on not the Duke, but the follow-on product called Akibono, and so that was where I started working in Xbox, as Akibono.
That sounds. I just want to say that I love my Elite controller, so thank you for that. It's the best controller ever. So cool. Now, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment in your career?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Yeah, if you think about it, I started in my career, so I've been designing. So I'm an industrial designer by trade. I went and studied it in school. I've been doing industrial design since school, and I'm like the longest industrial designer still at the company, having been there for so long. So I've designed so many products over those years. I would say, like, the single thing That's tough. I would say it's a toss-up. So the first mouse with a wheel. So I designed the IntelliMouse. It had a wheel in it, and that was innovative at the time. And if you look at most mice today, they all have wheels and things like that. So I'm really proud of designing one of the first ones that had that kind of an interaction.
Yeah, and I think people don't really let that sink in for the audience, like, because I don't know. When you told me that, I was just so taken back. I was just like, really, like, right? That it has to be. I mean, I could totally understand why that's one of your proudest accomplishments, because everyone has a wheel in their mouth.
It's a standard now.
Yeah, it's standard.
Right. That's how I grew up learning, the things
how to use a mouse.
Right, yeah, right. Exactly. The first thing you do is you turned it over and you saw the sensors and you saw the ball.
Yeah.
You really thought that it's a really big thing, and that's I like that.
Definitely innovative for sure.
Yeah, so super impactful, right? And so that's a big one. But my wife always teases me. She says, "Yeah, you invented the wheel." And I said, "Well, maybe for the mouse." And then, and then the other one, this is one that one of the guys on my team worked on it, and I hold it as just probably a highlight for my career, is the adaptive controller.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be a highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people are able. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. It's. Go ahead, Delilah.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's opened up doors for so many people for gaming. I mean, when I first started to go to the Microsoft store over in Santa Monica for E3 and whatnot, there was a gentleman there who came to the tournaments, and he didn't have an arm, but he had fashioned he got some hardware guy to fashion him a controller where he was able to just use one hand. But I remember keeping in touch with him, and when the adaptive controller came out, he was just like, this just, blew my world, because now I don't have to pay for someone to make a special controller for me. It's being made, and it has so many accessories that are available to me, so I mean, yeah.
Exactly. And it's kind of interesting, right? Because so then you say, why are these impactful? Why am I proud of it? Because they just touch people. And so the mouse, just millions and millions of them around the world. And then the adaptive controller, while it's not millions of them, it's for those people, it just unlocks gaming. And that's such a great moment.
Right.
Yeah. All right. When did you know that you wanted to work in video games? Or in the video game industry?
Ooh, when did I know I wanted to work in the video game industry? Well, I didn't. So I grew up loving video games. I will never forget, I'm going to date myself here, but there was Christmas of 1976. I grew up in a really, really small town in Southwest Washington. Christmas of 1976, run down to the tree, under the tree, open his present, and it's this thing called the Atari Pong. This thing, it was just transformative. Here's this little box, has these dials, and you plug it into a TV, and it changes your TV into something else, like a video game, like this arcade game. And even though it was just Pong, man, I played that thing hours and hours and hours and hours. And that was a magical moment for me. I had no idea that I'd end up working in the industry. But in 1999, when this whole idea for Xbox started, in addition to designing the Sidewinder products, then that's where it all came together. It's wow, this is a big movement. It's Bill Gates and the companies behind this thing. It's going to be incredible. And so I've been working in Xbox ever since and just love it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Oh, go ahead.
Now I was going to just say, when you talk about your little bit of the history, it's just for me, I know when I was a kid, just being captivated by what's happening on screen with the controllers, and the fact that you're manipulating something on screen is kind of what hit home for me. So I can definitely relate to what you're describing. So.
Yeah, it's the interaction. It's so cool.
All right. Anything else, buddy? All right, cool.
Oh, no, you can continue. Yes.
Okay.
You're being quiet.
Oh no. I'm just facilitating and taking all the information in because I like to learn, and the best way to learn is from hearing people's experiences and how they went through something. So I'm over here actually taking notes, so don't judge me.
That's cool.
Thank you. I know you worked on the HoloLens. Do you think we will see more mixed reality sets as we move forward, or full virtual reality?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, so you're right. I've worked on HoloLens since it was invented, and so this is interesting, right? Do y'all remember Connect?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I love Connect.
Okay, yeah, Connect. It was like, so working on Connect. I worked with a guy named Alex Kipman and another guy, Claude Sonoda, who were kind of the inventors of the Connect sensor, and they pitched this idea like, hey, here's this new sensor. It can track movement. It can use IR and RGB cameras to really do smart things. It has a built-in microphone, and they showed how it could be used to play games. And it just landed, and we launched it with the 360S, and it was a big moment, and it was so cool. And then, of course, when Xbox One came out, we evolved the Kinect sensor to do even more. But I think by then, some of the novelty of the games had started to, dry up a little bit. There wasn't as much content, and we just sort of saw a diminishing activity with Kinect. But it didn't stop there. So we used all the smarts that went into designing the Kinect sensor, the technology inside of it, and that actually went into HoloLens. So Alex Kipman, continues to run HoloLens today, and I've worked with him and that team along the way, all the way up to HoloLens 2.
Wow.
And I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is just interesting. There's this thing called IVAS, IVAS, the Integrated Visual Augmentation System is what it stands for. And it's a program that we've been working with the U.S. Army for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And you saw that?
Yeah, the article.
The article.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were just awarded a production contract with them, and the IVAS system. I mean, you can look it up. It allows soldiers to see maps, in the field. You can see around corners. It's just crazy. It's mind blowing what this does. But it's based on basically the HoloLens 2 technology, similar technology. And so we're going to be producing these products for the U.S. Army over the next 10 years. It's worth like $22 billion. It's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. We read the article this week when it was announced, and we were kind of flabbergasted.
And so this is what's interesting, right? Because there's been the whole VR push. Microsoft has really invested in the AR space, augmented visualization of data and stuff. So it blends the world. It doesn't just place you into this whole immersed digital world, but it actually brings together the real world and digital world together. And so we've been kind of leaning into that space through HoloLens, through IVAS, and I think it's still early days. I think between AR and VR, it will happen. It's going to mature. It's going to get richer. The content's going to become more prolific. Developers are going to start creating more content. It's really amazing. It's just early days still.
Yeah, and I think from a consumer standpoint, like the biggest appeal for me with AR versus VR is the fact that with VR you're covering your face, and I always appreciate the fact with HoloLens when I got to try it is that it's just over your eyes. It's like you're wearing glasses, and so it felt a little bit more comfortable than something covering your entire face. So yeah,
that's right. And we've all seen the science fiction movies and stuff, and
that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, so science fiction movies, right? They're about dreams, like creatives out there, whether they're designing game or film or experiences. It's about these dreams that people have, and those dreams inspire reality. And so whether it's creating digital experiences or physical products, or even the way we interact with others, film and these ideas and books and literature, they fuel the future with how we create products. So from there, you can easily see a world where AR and VR, you could almost see them start to merge. Like you have the ability to change from full VR to AR. I mean, I would imagine that would be out there in the future at some point.
Right. So, have a full-on like Tony Stark helmet that just glasses into like a full helmet.
That would be awesome.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes. I would, yeah, day one by people, day one. Well, that kind of goes into our next question. Do you think we're close to seeing something like HoloLens for the masses, like for everyday people?
I don't know how close we are, but I know a number of companies are working on this. Oculus, Facebook. There's been rumors of Apple. Microsoft is definitely investing in this space. It's coming. It will happen. I don't know when, or who's going to be first out there with something that I think is socially acceptable. Because we all remember Google Glass.
Right.
That little thing, right? Just that little thing, and it tried to bring some digital content to people, but it kind of put off folks, right? Oh, is that a camera? Are you recording something? And it got kind of weird, but that's all learnings, right? So we all learn how people respond to technology, what it says about you, how do you interact with others. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it will happen. It's all about the way it happens.
Yeah, and also I think it's about timing too, because sometimes, if you think about the whole camera thing, people, just with camera phones, people are even worried about that, like having front-facing cameras on their phones. Oh, it's spying on me, or cameras on the back of their phones. And so now people, since, the world is comfortable with having that sort of thing, it definitely opens up the space to be explored a little bit more and people to be more comfortable with the idea. So yeah, it's all about timing.
Yep, totally.
All right. What are your thoughts on the VR or AR headsets? Like, do you have one for personal use at home, or what is your favorite headset?
So I've played some VR games. I don't personally own the full desktop PC powering VR. Like I don't really do that. I know people who do. And in particular, I know a couple people, they just love VR. They just spend a lot of time in VR, and that's really cool. I played a few games in VR, and I think on the Sony system, I was playing a racing game. And I don't know if you've spent much time in VR, but for sure on some games you get you can get a
little woozy,
a little uncomfortable, let's say. And I had a few of those experiences, so it kind of was a little bit of a turnoff for me. But that said, some of these other games, like when you can just look around and you're immersed in it, it's so amazing. It's just like wow, and you just start to spend time in there. But for me personally, at home, I actually have a HoloLens 2, and I use that, and I use it. We have this space called Alt Space. You can go in there for these meetings. And we can look at content and stuff for work, and it's pretty cool. And recently at this show called Ignite, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks back, Alex Kipman brought in James Cameron, the film producer. And if you had a HoloLens 2, you could plug into this meeting and experience it real time. And it was so cool because not only could you see James Cameron as a hologram, like in front of you, 3D, floating in the room, but also there was an experience where you were underwater. So we all, as an audience, were immersed in this underwater world where like this giant whale shark and a manta ray, it just went right over your head, and it was so cool. I mean, it's hard to describe. Like just talking about it, you can't really quite visualize it or get it. But when you put this thing on and try it, it's just like it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember just because you're reading articles and it's hard to describe VR in general because you just don't get it until you put the headset on. I would say one killer app though for VR, since you haven't really dug that deep into it, would be Half-Life Alyx. That's the best VR game I've ever played. But I don't know if you've tried it or not. But if you haven't, definitely give it. Oh, you have? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I also played. So I played that one, and then I think it was a couple years ago at E3. I played a game. You know, like Sony, they had their demos, so we went and stood in line and tried the demos and stuff. And I don't remember the game, the title of the game, but it was this horror game.
Oh gosh.
And, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, was it?
Did you do it?
Edge to Nowhere?
If
Was
it's
it Edge to
horror
Nowhere?
game, I'm definitely not playing it. But didn't they? Not Left 4 Dead. What was the one? Resident Evil. Didn't they have
Resident Evil had one. Also, Edge to Nowhere or Edge of Nowhere, something like that, was one created by Insomniac that's really, really scary as well. And that's a horror.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, you when you introduce yourself into this game, you're sitting there, you're kind of stuck in this chair, and this guy on the ground like, yeah, you gotta help me, you gotta help me get out of here, watch out, and all of a sudden here comes this zombie coming at you.
Definitely
not.
No.
Yeah.
I know. I wish you could hear you could hear my head shaking because I'm just like, no, the whole time you're talking.
I'm shaking mine too. I'm like, nope,
Yeah,
There's no way.
Yeah, I don't do the horror game.
Yeah,
that was
no.
Yeah, you get it. That was scary.
All right. Let's see. Again, back to my favorite controller. Since you worked on the Elite Series controller, do you think there are any more improvements that you can do on it? Like, is there any way to make this controller better?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, when we designed the first one, the Series 1, it's always about learning. So we produce these products, we get them out there. There's always room for improvement. So we made a lot of improvements from the Series 1 to the Series 2. Like the built-in battery charging. There's just so many different things we did, like the adjustable tension thumbsticks and things like that. So as you can imagine, we are still in this mode of learning and exploring what else can we do. So while I can't go into details, I can say we are actively looking at what could be out there in the future for Elite. And we have plenty of ideas. And I, also if you look at the PS5, the DualSense controller, they're doing some really interesting things with haptics and technology. And those are the types of things we're looking at. Like where can we improve the product in a couple of ways? The first way is, it is all about a gamer who wants to adjust the way they play the game with their controller, so they have full adjustability. So we want to explore that further. Like, how can you really dial this thing up to the way you want to play? And that includes different types of games. So you may want to set it up for play in one way on one game, and then do something different on another game. And then the second one is, how do you make this product more immersive? Like the ultimate in immersion is you pick up this controller or device, and then you're interacting with the game. And after a while, you should forget about the device. All you do is you're just focused on the game, and the device becomes almost invisible. It just dissolves into the background.
Yeah, I think Phil described it as like the flow. Once you're in the flow, you're pretty much one with the device that you're using. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. So every time you're playing, if you notice something in the device, like you just, and it's super subtle, like if it's a clickiness or it's not doing exactly what you need it to do, or you're like pressing down on the thumbstick when you're trying to, zoom in or run fast or do something, and it doesn't quite do exactly what you want, that takes you out of flow. So those are the types of things that we're looking to, always improve.
What I do love about this controller is, like, at some points of me gaming, it doesn't feel like I'm playing with a controller. It's like a fluid motions between my fingers and the game. I don't know if that sounds weird or anything, but I just basically, like, I don't use like the trick, like the flappers or anything, but because I want to get used to, like, the grip. I love the grip of the controller.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. The grip, it feels, I mean, I had to use a gun reference, but it feels like a Glock. Like the grip on the controller is very, very nice.
I can see that, yes.
And then the weight too. It's not so nice balance. Like, when you hold it in one hand, it feels a little bit heavy, but then once you balance it between both hands, it's perfect. Like, I absolutely I really enjoy using it. So.
I'm glad the ladies convinced me to buy it because it was a minute. It was a minute. They were like, "You trust me,
Yeah.
And it's the best controller ever. I promise you."
Yes.
I can't go back to the other ones. I can't go back to the regular ones.
Yeah, it's like even when you go from the first Elite Series 1 to 2, it's like even the gap between them is just drastic. But go ahead, Boogie. What you're saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the only thing that would probably make this controller more accessible to people is I think people don't necessarily jump toward the Elite because they think it's like too much. Is that I remember with the first series, there you could go in and there were already like pre-programmed, profiles for you to choose from. Of like, if you like to play Halo, this is the type of layout you might want to use. Like I think those type of things would really help that be more accessible to people.
That's true because right now you have to look up the settings that someone else has. Yeah, you have to like jump into the Reddit community or go to the Halo blogs to find out. I'm trying for a Southpaw. Like how do I tweak the controller for that? Like, yeah, I can see that.
Yes. If I may make a suggestion, if we could get it in color, that would be awesome.
I know.
I would love a
Design Lab
Elite
Xbox.
controller.
The Xbox Design Lab Elite controller.
They don't do Elite controllers in the Design Lab yet. I'm put that on yet. I got faith in my people. So, yes.
Yeah, keep the we've been hearing that one for a long time. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's my only suggestion.
I love the feedback. You keep it coming. What about the case? Do you guys use the case?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Charging.
Keep it charged.
Charging and everything. Yeah,
for sure. I love the
I
little
have the
dock in
case
there.
sitting next to the Xbox. Yeah, and I just throw it in there at night and
the dock. I agree. I can unplug it and I can just put it on a dock inside the case. If if I want to get super secure, I can just zip it up and I'll be good to go. It's like I never have a problem with like my battery not charging or I'm not getting enough juice. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's cool.
Like it's so funny because sometimes I forget to put it in the case and my controller's still fully charged when I look on the Xbox. I'm like, how? It's been 4 days. It's like how is this controller?
Yeah, it's been a week and a half. Like, what have I not been playing? Like, you question if you've been playing enough. Like,
right. The battery.
The battery on this too is like way. It's way
good.
better.
It is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If only we could get it in purple. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know the colors. Everybody wants colors. And they want to customize it. They want to do, their own color grips, their own color case. They want to
at some point though, you got to think about the cost of all that. Like that's a lot.
But I'm telling you, people gonna pay though. People will pay.
I would be those people.
Yeah.
I would be those people.
Because it's a super premium product for that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question for you. So when you go in, so say you want to do your own custom design for a controller like that. Why do you want that?
Because
why would we want it custom?
Oh
yeah.
Come on, why not?
Oh yeah, just the uniqueness. Like this is mine. Like
there's
no other like it. Like the military. This is my gun. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, it's representation. It's like representation as well too. Like soon as like my husband, like soon as he see that controller, he know it's mine. Like don't touch it. Like you don't have to second guess it. Because right now our controllers are identical. But if mine was purple or red, of course I want it red. Then he could just look and be like, oh yeah, okay, that's hers. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So custom is awesome. Have to have it.
I know, right? With my gamer tag on it, like, yeah. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. When the Xbox Design Lab opened up, I wanted the teal and purple grown women gaming controller, and it was extra, and I didn't care because I knew that unless someone got on the website and did the same exact thing that I did with mine, which was I highly doubt because it was mine, nobody would have the same controller, and it was like it was swag, it was new hotness for me, it was exclusive, it was hype beat for me, It feels good to have, your name or your gamer tag or a special message on something that you use, and in my case, basically every day.
Yeah.
I guess I would think of it like, people who get the special license plates, people get them because they just want something unique, something that makes it theirs, because there's the same car, everywhere. So what makes this mine?
Right.
Yeah, totally. We've been, tracking the design labs and, what is it about it? What is it that people love? And it's all of that. Some people just want to have their own, like they would actually laser on the front, their name or their gamer tag. They'd even, like one person I think put like no touchy on their
I would do that. I would.
Right.
Yeah, no touchy. And then they just love, and I do too. I've made a number of these things because it's just fun. They just love to go in and just do it. Like, hey, I can make this. I did that. You can be creative. You can come up with your own combination. And then when it shows up and you unbox it, it's just like, yes.
Right.
I don't remember which one of you said it, but it's like, yeah, this is my limited edition, and I just released it to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of controllers, sir, I have to ask about the two designs that was recently announced: the Volt and the red camo controllers. Do you want to talk about those a little bit? Can you talk about those a little bit?
Oh, totally. Yeah, those are awesome. So we, the whole limited and special edition and even special drops, like we had at XO19, a couple of years ago. We just love doing that. And as a designer, it's kind of weird because when you tell somebody who maybe isn't into games or gaming, things like that, when you tell them, oh yeah, we did this really cool, electric Volt color controller, they're just like, oh, okay. Because I think in your mind, you think of these other products that they don't really have a story or a connection to content. It's just like, oh, I got this green toaster. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's neat. Those are your decor.
Right.
But when we do these limited and special editions, we're really trying to bring a connection, a special connection to the way people play games or the content they love to play or their lifestyle as a gamer. And so the two new controllers we're really excited about because that electric Volt one, it's just kind of a badass color. It
is. Oh man, and then the drip, like the shirt. Oh man, it's gonna come together real nice. I'm getting that whole kit just to be huge. I'm getting that whole kit.
Yeah, there's people that collect it, and you're right. We also worked with the gear team to release new swag, new gear that you can get that sort of goes with it. And the Daystrike camo design, it's sort of a follow-on on this camo pattern. And what we try to do is, we love the standard black and the standard white controllers. We ship those with the X and the S, but we know that people want to do something different. And it kind of says a little bit about who they are and what they love. And the camo, we already know the camo pattern. That's just, everybody loves it.
Yes.
Men, women, kids, old people, they all love it. And so with the Daystrike, we're trying to push into this little more of a vibrant effect. Like, so the red, if you look at the finish on the Daystrike camo, it has sort of this matte finish.
Yes, it's so perfect, dude. Like
it's really cool.
My favorite color is red, so I geeked out a little bit when I saw that. I'm like, yo, this is day one, easy.
It's mine. It's mine.
Yes. Super excited about that one.
Okay,
so another random question.
I'll see if I can set you guys up with something.
Oh, that'd be great. I also got a random question for you. Okay. I know ladies are going off the beaten path, but I have to ask this one. Do you know exactly how many custom controllers there are?
Oh, that we've made over the years?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can say this: millions.
What? Wow.
What
about release? Even release, like control. Let's limit it to the Xbox One and the Series controllers. Then, do you know how many custom?
Yes. So we do. So like when we do limited editions. So limited editions are usually connected to game IP. Like I'll admit, the Cyberpunk controller is so cool.
Yes.
The Sea of Thieves controller. That one is nuts. And like you see people, they jack the prices up, try to resell them on eBay or whatever. It's because we didn't make too many. And I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely less than, maybe 80,000 or something. So there just aren't very many of them. And and the volumes, it's kind of tricky. Like we try to limit it. Like we don't make that many. You know, and we're not to the point of being numbered. Like we don't make, you know, one of, you know, 400 or something like that. We make more than that because we want to make it accessible to enough people that you can all get it. Probably the most limited ones we make, like the XO19, that one we didn't make very many.
I can imagine. So that seems really exclusive. Talking about the one with it had the oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now. The skull kind of look of it with the yeah. Okay, yeah.
These had the glow in the dark skull.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I think I remember seeing that in the photo.
Yeah, that one's fun. So check it out. So Monique Chatterjee on my team, she's been doing these for forever, and she is so talented. She has this connection with gamers and with game IP and with fashion industry and like what's trendy and what's just work, you know, what's out there, what's coming. And so we build our relationships with the game studios, and so we work with Craig and the team at the Sea of Thieves, and we work with them in advance to understand what is the game, like what's coming out in this game that's really unique and special. And then we try to interpret that into this controller. And we don't just like slap logos on it. We try to make the controller feel like it just came out of the game, like it emerged from the game and fell into your lap or your hands. And so she's been doing that. You know, I was even able to travel with her to CD Projekt Red in Poland for the Cyberpunk stuff. And so we met with them a number of times and their creative team.
So for the custom console as well, like because you all cover that is also right, the custom console and the right, okay,
the custom console, and then of course we did the controller with that one, and it's just so fun because you learn about the inspiration that they have for the game, and then we try to reinterpret that into the hardware. So that it becomes an extension of that digital world that you experience and play with, and make it physical into your own home. And even the sounds, like when you turn on the console and it has the sound, like we work on the strategy for what is the right sound for on, for off, for eject, things like that.
Yeah, I actually have the Cyberpunk custom console. I love the 2-tier design and the blue the blue cable, the little kind of teal looking color cable that came. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool stuff there. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Charisse.
No, again, because this is awesome. Our chat is loving this. Our chat is loving this conversation so much. They really enjoy the Elite controller. They say it's the best. They are loving everything that you put out over the years. This is the best conversation ever. I just want you to realize that, Mr. Carl. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're like the top one in my guest list right now.
Thank you. Well, I hope they're being super transparent, because for everything that's good, there's always things to improve on. And if you're out there, I don't see the chat happening, but if you're out there talking about like, hey, what about the thumbstick drift, all this kind of stuff, we hear you loud and clear. These are some things that we're always trying to improve and make better. We're not, nothing is ever absolute perfect, but we strive to be there. So, keep the comments coming, and we, like I said, we value gamers more than anything you could ever imagine. That's one thing Phil Spencer has brought to Xbox, is gamers are at the center, and so that's all we care about.
Also, thank you for putting on the new headset, because the headset just released with the 2 dials. You got the dial on each side. One's for volume, one's for balancing the chat and the game. Brilliant, because I love not having to worry about buttons there. That's the most coolest thing. Sorry, go ahead, Charisse.
Oh, okay. Well, we got one comment since you said you don't mind listening to our chats. Philly 2 Corpse, nice name, by the way. He said keep it 100. He wants I'm assuming he loves the design lab, and he wants us to ask you about it. I guess he wants to know when the design lab is going to be back.
That's a great question, because I think if you go to Design Labs right now, it says like under construction or something. Anyway,
yes.
I can say it is under construction. We're working on it. We are. I don't think we have a date yet where it's going to be turned on, but we are we hear you. We're working on it. Because we updated the controller, right? The new Xbox Series wireless controller.
Yep.
With the share button and the new side and the new features, the new trigger shape, the textures, all that. We have to update Design Labs to accommodate that new controller. So that's yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's coming. It's coming.
We will, when we do get one that pops up, we're gonna share it out on the Grown Women Gaming
For sure.
Twitter feeds. Yes. All right. So
I'm telling you, if you want to bring somebody on your show, it's Monique.
You got to get her on there, yeah.
Write that down real quick.
Yeah,
I don't think I've met her. I can't remember if I've met her or not, but yeah, we'll have to set something up.
Yeah, you've met Elliot. He's another one. Like,
yep.
I'm so lucky. Like, I work with the coolest people. The people on my team are just they inspire me every day. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones who are just working day in, day out on things like the special limited editions. Elliot's got the drops. He's doing some of the Design Lab stuff. Chris, he's the maestro of consoles, and Ryan Whitaker is controller guru. So
yeah. That's how I feel about my panel, about my ladies.
Hey,
yeah, like, he's an awesome boss because he's giving so much credit to his people. Like, you are a great boss. Yeah.
Sounds like Charisse wants to work for you.
Right. I wouldn't mind. I would like legit to be your secretary because I probably could do nothing else. But I'll go get you coffee, sir.
You're a designer. You got to design stuff.
Sir, I can't draw. So
you can imagine the future, right? You can imagine stuff. Right.
Yeah, that part, yes.
Speaking of which, I might want to talk to you after the show. So let's stay in touch here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna get into some of the fun stuff right now. What game series do you have the best memories of?
Oh man, that's hard.
Okay.
Best memories of. Well, see, I'm not like a super hardcore gamer, but I love to play games, and I play quite a few games. So some of my favorite memories. I gotta go to Tomb Raider. I love Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Tomb Raider. I like Tomb Raider because well, first of all, the most recent ones, I love how the title evolved. It got more authentic and mature, and the way they portrayed, Lara Croft and things just got way better. And then the game content, it was, for me, I love I tend to play more campaign mode.
Yeah.
And I just love the combination of, a little bit of first person shooter, a little bit of the puzzle solving, and then the little you got collectibles and get things like that. So I love Tomb Raider. And then, but I think the game series, like the title that probably goes back the farthest for me is Call of Duty. Like,
that's our ladies' game.
Ladies' game.
Excuse me. Yeah. We talking about we just said Call of Duty? Yes, I am. I am the Call of Duty professional in the panel, so I love me some Call of Duty.
Okay, yeah. I played, I think, every Call of Duty that's out there. I like those.
I played all of them except 1 and 2.
The old school.
Okay.
So I'm gonna plan to play those 2 this year. So I played all of them. So I can say that I played all of them.
Yeah, you got to play them. I mean, I'll admit, when you go back in time that far, 1 and 2 is like, okay, this is starting to feel a little bit old, but it's still fun. It's still fun. So I think those I have the most memory of because they're just so immersive. Like, you're in this story and you have these challenges and you got to get through it. And like, depending on the level, I guess it's hard, but not unachievable. And then of course you can do co-op and stuff, which is pretty fun.
All right. What are your top favorite franchises, video games?
Top 5.
Well, that's even
top
harder.
5. Top 5.
Top 5. So you don't have, so it's not as bad, but yeah.
Top 5. You can only pick 5. So
only 5.
I swear everyone always picks more than 5, but yeah.
They do. Okay, we'll give you an honorable mention. Do an honorable mention.
5 and an honorable mention. Yeah.
Top 5 franchise. Okay.
Game of franchises of all time.
And I look at these games in different ways. Like I gotta do a huge call out to Red Dead because man, that game, like I think it was last year, the year before, we invested, went to Costco and bought this giant 4K, big screen TV and stuff. And when you hook up a Series X to that TV and you play Red Dead, it is so cool. I mean, you really feel like
Costco.
Yeah, right. It's these things are still expensive. There's no doubt about that. But they definitely, it makes it a little bit more affordable. And when you get that big screen and you just feel immersed in the game, like Red Dead, it feels like a movie, and it's just it's just so cool. And the soundtrack and the quality of the sound, and so that's one. Call of Duty's one because, and then franchise. I gotta go with Forza and some of the racing games. They've done Turn 10. They've done such a fantastic job between motorsports and Horizon.
Yes,
it's like you get your fill of cars and culture and racetrack and just open world driving, and so that's pretty fun. Okay, that's 3. I've burned 3 now. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one, but this kind of has a story to it. Okay, Fable.
Yes,
there
we go.
Okay,
yeah.
Fable because it was so good. Like this RPG, immersed in this story and all these little challenges and stuff is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But then when they did Fable Connect, so Fable Connect was not awesome. So I'm looking forward to maybe in the future another Fable. But Fable, okay. So that's 4. Favorite franchises. Okay, here's one. It's a little obscure and maybe dark for people, but I loved the beauty of the gameplay and the physics. And there's this game developer out of Copenhagen called Playdead, and they did a game called Limbo and Inside.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Very familiar.
I played Limbo.
And those,
oh my goodness,
those things are mind blowing, right?
Yes.
Talk about puzzles, and I would just get mesmerized in the game of what's happening, and I love those games. I can't see what they come out with in the future.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it, but Inside's ending, oh my goodness, man, like what?
I really enjoy the visuals. It's the visuals for me. Something so simple can be so impactful.
Yeah, and then it's no dialogue, and so it's up to interpretation. Like a lot of it's so good. Both of those games are really, really well.
Yeah, you're thinking, right? It's just like, oh my gosh, what I got to do here. So I like that one. Is that 5?
That's 5, but you get one more.
That's 5.
Oh man. I'm not talking about GTA, FIFA, Star Wars, Battlefront, Battlefield, World of Warships, Halo. Right?
What's your go-to? What's your go-to game? Like, let's say you go, when you say Call of Duty is really your go-to.
Yeah.
I don't know how to rephrase that. Yeah.
But again,
Cold War or Modern Warfare? I'm sorry, I had to know. Like his go-to.
I'm a COD. I like Modern Warfare too, but yeah, not so much into Black Ops, but yeah.
That sounds about right. Right at this moment. How I feel about Black Ops right now.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one I'm looking forward to.
There we go.
All right. So if you've played Hellblade, that thing is a little creepy and weird. Like when you put headphones on, you listen to that thing, it's creepy.
That game scared me. I had to turn the audio. I
had
to put the audio off one ear and turn it really low and have it, because I don't play scary games, so I had to. Yeah. But definitely Hellblade. So definitely looking forward to the sequel on that one. But go ahead.
Yeah, sequel. That's one I want to play. And right now, I'm really I want to play Outriders. That's on my list. Outriders, I want to play. And you guys are talking about that at the beginning, which I love. And because the Bethesda, because we purchased Bethesda, which is so cool.
Yes.
We unlocked all these games through Bethesda, and a game I've always wanted to play, but I don't know, I never played it before. So right now I'm playing Wolfenstein New Order, and that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've played. That's probably one of the only games that I actually complete is the Wolfenstein series. And like Tomb Raider are usually the games that I will go all the way to the end. Because there's such big worlds that it's not like it's going to take you, only a couple of days to finish. Like this thing takes you a while. But,
okay.
I finished those, and then I think, Lady, did you and I finish New Order together, or no? Was that a different one?
I thought you did the ones with the
yeah, we
daughters.
did the twins. Yeah,
No, I beat the first one. I beat the first one, but we did the second one together. We did the second one together.
Yeah.
It was a tough battle, but I liked it because it was like a bonding session with the person that you're playing with, and that's the type of games that I would like to play, like a story-driven co-op game, which is so much funner than single player. Personally, for me, I can play a single player game by myself, and I can play for about an hour, and then I can put it down. But if I'm playing with a friend, that hour can turn into 2 hours, or that 2 hours can turn into a lunch break, or then it turns into an all-day session.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Totally. That's cool. So I've been playing that one, and then like something that special mention. I love Ori and the Blind.
Oh my
God, that's
my game. That's my game. That's that game is in my top 5 of all time. Ori and the Ori franchise for sure. Yeah. That and Super Metroid. That's not my other one. I love some retro stuff.
Open up the question of like games. It's like it's endless. There's so many good games.
It's hard.
There are some good games right now. Like this last generation, this generation is like literally knocking it out the park with games. It is. Yeah. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, between that and the indie scene, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
That's why I really love what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass and stuff, because there's so many games that I've discovered that Yeah. I know we're gonna talk about it later, but it's just games that because I'm playing, like I mentioned earlier, I'm playing Narita Boy, and it's trippy. Like just the amount of thought that went into every little detail of that game is incredible. But yeah.
Yeah, you're so right. It's really cool, and we're seeing this like with people on Game Pass. They're playing games they would have never ever thought to play before. It's like, hey, I'll check that out. Mm-hmm. It's like easy. Like I'll try it. If you don't like it, fine, move on to another game. But it's just easy to go play and try. So it's sort of opening new doors for people.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Mr. Carl, we have a question from our chat. It's about the Kinect. This is from Monica S. She says, I wonder if the Kinect had came out around the same time as COVID, would it have been more acceptable?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Wow. That is a great question. Very, very interesting thought. I don't know. I would imagine, like, one of the things Kinect could do pretty well is you could actually use it for communication. But so you could use your TV and talk to your friends and family, different parts of the country or the world or whatever. I would imagine that it might be used more for that. I mean, we're seeing through Zoom and Google and Teams and things like this, they just use it for work and for talking to friends and like happy hours and get-togethers and all this kind of stuff. I would imagine that it would totally open up the TV in the living room for those same experiences for sure. So
yes.
I would say,
I was gonna say, like, the thing I thought about immediately when I heard the question was fitness, because just people can't go to the gym right now, and so you know how Kinect had that tracking sensor thing where you can look at your heartbeat and your blood levels, all that kind of stuff. So I thought that would be incredible, because people just don't have access to be able to capability to be able to just go to the gym right now. So
plus one on that, absolutely. Yeah, good point.
So thank you, Monica, for that question. I think you already said this, but what is your favorite game at the moment? Like what are you playing right now?
Yeah, I'm playing Wolfenstein right now.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's not quite my favorite game yet, but we'll see. It's getting good. I mean, it's getting pretty good, so I'm liking it.
Nice.
Hey, Boogie, what's better? Is the first one or the second one better? Which one's better?
Second.
The second's better? Okay.
That was quick.
Because the second introduced more characters. It wasn't just like him. So the second one was the one where you got to meet more people, like more of the
Okay.
resistance and stuff. So that's why I like that one better.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. We are foodies on GWG. We like to cook. We like to eat. And so, Mr. Carl, what is your favorite meal or dish to eat?
Oh man.
It's like he's stumping them with the easiest question.
Yeah, it's ironic. These are tough questions. Like if I have to go to a restaurant and sit down and eat with people, I love sushi, like really good sushi.
Yeah.
And I got hooked on it because I don't know, it was like 10 or 15 years ago. I had to travel to Japan quite a bit for work, and I had some of the most amazing sushi ever. It was so good. So I love sushi, but in general, like what I love to do, I love barbecue and like campfire.
There we go.
Wrapping up like a pork with some seasoning, vegetables, and you wrap it in foil, and you can actually put it in the campfire. The
Barbecue at Carl's. Barbecue at Carl's.
I know.
Let's do it.
So have you ever had like a cowboy burger where you like put potatoes and root vegetables, and then you put the burger patty on top, wrap it in foil, throw it on the grill?
Yep. All that. And what I love about what I love about that, like that, eating that kind of food, it doesn't have to be just one type of thing. It's because it's everybody together.
Yeah.
Like you cook this stuff, you hang out with your friends or your family, and then you enjoy it and eat it. And you can't go wrong with weekend waffles. I like weekend waffles.
Is that the same thing as breakfast is nighttime?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
It could be. Yeah. We eat a lot of breakfast at night around here. All right. We got 2 more questions.
Okay.
And again, Mr. Carl, thank you so much for coming on because this is awesome. I've learned so much and you're awesome. What would you say to people looking to get into the game industry?
Do it. I tell you, the game industry, it's growing. And just the stuff we've talked about, the type of games and content, it really does feel like it's opening up to more people, more places in the world. Things like COVID have only strengthened the value that games bring, just mentally and physically in some cases. It's just good for people. So I think get in, definitely do it. It's fun, it's engaging, it's not going to let up, and it's just a big bright future out there for games.
Awesome. All right, sir. Last question. What do you think companies could do to retain or, I guess, start up their diversity at their companies?
What can they do? This is a good one. It's an important one. First and foremost, value it. Like, value diversity. And I can tell you this, and this is 100% true. The design team I'm part of is very diverse. And when I say diverse, I mean men, women, gender, race, culture, international. We have the coolest team, and it's because there's so many different types of people from around the world. And the reason why that's important, it's not just to check some box, because I'm not into box checking. The reason why diversity is really important, and this is what any company needs to value, is having diverse people working together brings more creative insights. Yep. And this is a fact. Like, if you get a bunch of dudes dudes who grew up in the same place working on something, you're going to get a more predictable outcome. But if you bring together, men and women from different cultures and different parts of the world, you're going to have way better and wider range of ideas. And so as designers, we need diversity in thought. And the only way you can get that is through diverse people.
Yeah. And as a fellow Microsoftie, I mean, our team's the same way. It's very, very, very diverse. Just with not only just race, gender, whatnot, but also skill level too. Because you have some people that's fresh out of college, people who've been in the industry 15 plus years. It's a nice wide range. I don't know if every team's built like that, but that's just been in my experience as well.
No, totally. Yeah, age, that's another one, right? Because I'm like the old crusty dude still hanging. But it's okay. In my mind, I'm always like, hey, I want to learn more. Like I don't have all the answers. So we look for people with fresh ideas, new ideas, maybe just coming out of school. They're like it's all blue sky. Like they're not entrenched in some thinking.
They're still green. I guess that's the word.
Absolutely. So that's another form of diversity, right?
Yep. Oh, yes, it is. All right, Mr. Carl, that is all of our legit questions. And I mean that is with quotation marks. But if you don't mind sticking with us, we do a part at the end of the show where we say our tidbits. And our tidbits are usually like any TV shows that we're watching or any movies that we've seen that we want to suggest to each other. So, sir, anything cool that you watched lately that you could suggest for us to watch also?
Oh, okay. Anything I've watched recently?
I know I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was awesome.
Yeah. Here's what I did watch, and I mean it's been out for a little while now, but it's kind of interesting because I've always enjoyed the Avengers movies, but there's a couple I hadn't watched, and so check this out. This show called WandaVision.
Oh. Yes.
So WandaVision, I loved it. Kind of mind blowing. Like what the heck is going on at the beginning? Then you kind of figure it out. But it caused me to go back and actually, one of my daughters, we went back and watched a couple of the other movies that we'd missed to fill in the blanks. So that was kind of a fun thing. So
was Age of Ultron? You go back and watch.
Yeah, you need to go back and watch Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron.
Yeah, we actually went and watched Ragnarok. And,
oh man,
and I think I watched Captain Marvel. But there was one scene that was like a critical scene in one of those movies. Like, okay.
Yeah,
right. It helped you make sense of things. Yeah. It's funny too because I watched that with my daughter, and like now that Falcon and Winter Soldier is on, she doesn't like it. She's like, this doesn't like. I guess it doesn't make her have to think enough. Like WandaVision, I think was so new, so different than any other way they've done any other Marvel, movie or show. It was really like thought provoking, and it's surprising to me that this 10-year-old enjoyed that better than action.
Yeah, 100%. Totally with you on that. It really was like kind of arresting at the beginning. Like, what is going on? It wasn't just like explosions and fighting scenes and stuff. So that would be my reco.
All right. Anybody else got any tidbits? Anything they watched they want to share with the class?
I've been reading this manga called Satoshi Kon's Opus. He's a great animator and one of the OGs of manga. So I wanted to start off with his earlier work. It's about this dude who's an animator, like a manga illustrator, and he gets sucked into his own anime and calamity ensues. So and I got it for like $6. Yeah, less than $10. So I'm old school. I like to read, but I don't like the tablets or the digital books. You know what I mean? I like real books. So.
Physical page turning, hard.
Yes. Bookmark, everything. Yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
As long as your dog get the pages, we still friends.
No, I haven't, but I
Good job.
Bookmarker. I need a bookmarker though.
Yeah.
Charisse is a librarian, so she takes that personally.
I really do. But yeah. All right. Anybody else? Because
I guess I got the first. Sorry. Oh, I watched the first episode of Invincible on
Amazon.
What is that?
Is
Amazon?
Prime?
Yeah. And it's hilarious because it's basically DC, but with different,
different
main characters and stuff like that. Yeah, like the Superman character is like Omega Man there, but it's more like he has a son and a wife, and his son is coming into his powers and all that. So it's a little bit different, darker. So I guess kind of like what is that one? The Boys and DC mixed. So yeah, very much on the dark side.
All right, cool. Delilah?
Yep. So I'm watching Warrior on Was it HBO Max? I believe it's HBO Max. It's written by Bruce Lee before he passed. His daughter is actually producing it.
Watch that. Yeah.
I did, and and so it's for mature audiences. So I wouldn't watch it with any kiddos, but it's definitely a really entertaining show. But yeah, definitely check it out.
All right, and unfortunately, I don't have any suggestions for anybody this week, so I'm sorry, y'all. I was kind of busy.
No books, anything? No books?
Well, I did read 2 new mangas. One called Solo Leveling, and the other one that I can't even remember right now. But they're both like teen to mature rated, and it's just the first volume, so I'm not sure if I'm going to finish them, but they're enjoyable. My daughter enjoyed them more than I did, but she's weird, but that's okay. But yes, that's about all I got right now. No TV shows, no movies. Your girl been working. But yes, so now that we've got that out of the way, I don't think we have time for questions. I'm sorry, everybody. We just want to thank Mr. Carl for coming through and chilling with us today. So we're going to give him the pleasure of doing his outro first. So Mr. Carl, basically you could this is what you do our outro, and you tell exactly, if you want people to follow you on Twitter, you give out your information. But if not, you could just say, hey, bye, and thank you for, all the good times.
There's the question. There's like one special question in the chat.
Oh, there's one special question. What's this one special question?
He said, Mr. Hardy. You all know who he is.
Oh, okay.
He asked him, is he Team Godzilla or Team Kong? Please.
Oh.
He said, please.
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
Team Godzilla or Team Kong?
Yeah, there's. Okay.
I don't know. I have more. I mean, I'm Team Kong.
Okay, there you go. All right. Thank you.
Yes. Now you can do your outro, Mr. Carl, and tell it, that we're finna end the show now.
Well, my outro is really just 2 things. If you want to follow me, like and you guys know this, I'm the most sporadic Twitter user. I don't go in very often. I'm not a big Twitter user, but you can find me Carl Ledbetter on Twitter. On my Instagram, you get a kind of a cross section of what I love, which is design, Land Rovers, and mountain biking. And my Twitter or my Instagram is 529, which is why you see that little icon down there. But it's spelled out like FIBE, etc. 529. But the really important outro thing is, thank you for having me today. You guys are just fantastic, and it's been great being part of your show and just spend a little bit of time with you on the weekend.
No problem.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. It was awesome. This chat was amazing.
Yes. My heart. I know, I'm a fangirl afterwards. After we get off, I'm a fangirl. But yeah, so outros, ladies. We're gonna start with Delilah.
Yes, you all know you can follow me on Twitter, Delilah_HD. And thank you to the chat for rocking out with us, and thank you, Carl, for coming onto the show. We appreciate that. And yeah, I'll catch you all next weekend.
All right, lady.
I'd like to thank everybody that came through today. Much love for you guys. Carl, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasant surprise. And you guys, you can check me out on Twitch, Lady_Infamous415. We got the giveaway on Wednesday. We got Black Gamer League debut on Tuesday. And we're going to try to beat Sephiroth on Monday. So thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. And be good to each other and be safe.
All right, LBOOGIE.
All right, it's LBOOGIE0208. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. Same name, LBOOGIE0208. And thank you for you guys coming. Thanks for behaving. And and thank you so much, Carl, for coming on the show. It was a pleasure meeting you in person, and I'm so happy I've kept in touch. And thank you so much.
All right, and y'all know it's your girl here, CHAREECE. Again, I want to thank Mr. Carl for coming because he is awesome. But yes, thank y'all for coming through the chat. As always, y'all are lovely. Y'all have held it down and y'all have behaved. Y'all have fun this weekend. Make sure to get those wins in. Make sure to wear your mask. Make sure to wash your hands. Yes, and we'll see you next week.
And happy Easter to those who celebrate.
Oh, yes. Y'all go make some deviled eggs.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
No, thank you.